One. All right, we are back hanging out. More conversations coming, and none better than Josh Emmett. Josh, how are you?
I'm good. It's great to be here. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. What's it like walking around this fiasco that MMA and the UFC is now taking over?
Yeah, it's fun. It's the fan expo is something special. Without the fans, we wouldn't be here. So, we don't have to be here. I wanted to come out here and just interact with the fans and do a bunch of some cool stuff.
Sure.
Sign some stuff and take photos. Just because I remember what it was like to be a fan of my favorite fighter or my favorite athlete. Like I would have done anything, waited hours to take a picture with them. So I know exactly how that feels. And so I'll stand there, I'll take a picture with everyone, I'll sign everything until the security literally tells me like no more, than I do a few more.
So who are those people that you would like if you haven't done it yet, if you haven't met, if you haven't gotten a piece of memorabilia from them?
Oh, just when I was growing up, it's like Tito Ortiz was my favorite fighter of all time, and I had taken pictures with him in the past a long time ago, and then it's kind of crazy. I ran into him at an event, and he said he was a big fan of mine. I was like, man, that's kind of surreal, But just I used to collect basketball cards growing up, and so it's like like Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant, like all these Allen Iverson, all these just phenomenal basketball players. I would have liked to do something, get some signatures or a picture with them, but that's just when I was young.
All right. Well, now that you're older, have you and do you want to go fishing with Tito?
I know I can.
Because I could say Tito and I are like this.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know I could with my buddy Chad Mendez and
Sure.
Clay,
And Clay.
They do
Clay.
their stuff, so they've been trying to get me on some of their stuff. But yeah, I would like to go down and catch some tuna and bring that back. But yeah, it's one of these days.
What do you do for fun? Fight?
No, it's not fun.
I know.
Yeah, no, just basically eat. Like I'm the biggest foodie. I'm the biggest foodie. My wife and I, we love like good wine. So we go to Napa, do our thing. I like bourbon. Just hanging out with friends and family, and just traveling. Like that's a passion of ours. Travel and good food.
So listen, after a long fight camp, and you've done this a long time, and you're always in amazing condition. That's never been a question. The day after the fight, how long do you give yourself to binge, have a drink, have a steak, do whatever you have to do before you start getting yourself back into fight mode? Or do you allow yourself to kind of put a little bit of weight on? And when I mean a little bit of weight, more weight than you probably would want to if you were still kind of in that kind of training kind of mode. Do you give yourself the time to just relax and just enjoy life before getting the sort of beast mode back on to go back in there?
Yeah, no, definitely. It depends. Like when I was in Perth, we stayed out there for an additional 4.5 weeks, and we went to Sydney, we went to the South Island of New Zealand and North Island, ate our way through the country, drank our way. I drank a lot more than I should have, but it's I put on a lot of weight, and it's kind of funny because some of these guys you see put on 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, shit, that's nothing. 40 pounds. That's nothing. Like I can put on the weight if I want to, but now it's been 11 days since I fought.
Yeah.
I'll probably get back to dieting and stuff sometime next week, and then
Just
get back to training.
enjoy a bit of Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy some food and drinks and, until the next one.
I'm not familiar with that one word though. That diet word. I always tell the fighters that my next weight cut will be my cremation.
But listen, you like I said, being in this sport at the very, very highest level, when you walk in here and you see the size of the sport now, and you see the size of the expo, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year. It must have been. We like to kind of ask everyone's opinion that you've been here and you've been part of it while it's gone through this immense growth. What's that kind of been like to be a part of? Because when you're watching Tito back in the day, and other those fighters, you would struggle to try and find it anywhere. It was a dirty kind of VHS that you would keep in a drawer because everyone was frightened of it. And now you see it on ESPN and you see it all over the world. What's that been like to be actually here and actually see the growth of the sport?
Yeah, no, it's amazing, just to be a part of that. my own trading card. All these things, and people always ask me, they collecting them and have me sign them. Like, it doesn't mean anything to me if that makes sense. But it's like I don't know. I don't even like to talk about myself a lot or like hype myself up. But it comes with the sport. It comes with this career I chose. But it's just different. But it's cool to be a part of it and see where the company is going.
Yeah. So look, are you a computer games guy?
I used to be. I used to be a big gamer. I used to play computer games as well. But,
So have you ever played as yourself?
I have played like a few times because some friends had them, and I played a few times. I actually was like boycotting the game. I was like, I'm not buying this game and playing this game till I'm in it, and then they
Amazing.
put me in it.
There you go.
And so I had to stay true to my word and buy the game
Yeah.
and play it once or twice.
When you played it, who did you fight against? Do you remember?
I don't even know the first time. Yeah, I have no idea.
Listen, like you said, you see the events of this weekend. Is there a fight on the card? Maybe main card that you're like really looking forward to. I know, listen, every single fight is going to be great. But we always kind of like talk about, well, which one do you think is going to be the one of those top 5 fights in the main card? Which one can you see being the one that really delivers?
Yeah, I'm looking forward most to the main event.
Yeah.
Of course, Jair and Volkanovski. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. It's something that I'm just looking forward to. Volkanovski is good, man. He's the pound for pound. Like, I know he's pound for number 2 right now, or 3, whatever they have him at, and he's good. It's hard to go against him. They're both good guys, phenomenal fighters. So I really am looking forward to that the most.
I'm looking forward to the Robbie fight.
Okay.
Anybody who knows Robbie, and obviously I go way back with him. I said to the last guest, I never like when a fighter says, "This is my last fight." And even if they think it and they say it right after, that means they've thought about it the whole time.
Yeah.
Robbie's that one guy that I think he could say, "I'm retiring tonight," and he's still going to do what he does, this afternoon. And then Nico don't care either. He just wants to go in there and have a good time. And I think that has the potential to be a lot of fun. If watching a fight is fun, you know what I'm saying? It's sometimes punches and stuff. It's cool.
No, that is true. And I was just talking about because people were saying, what do I want to be remembered of? And I was just saying that Robbie Lawler and Roy McDonald got inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's like those are the type of fights that I'm looking forward to. Like, I want to put on those type of fights for the fans, for my legacy. Just that it just shows that never quit mentality. It's like you literally have to put me out, otherwise I'm going to keep coming. And it's like I know it's not good for my health, but it's like I'm gunning for those.
And I like how you said you just fought 12 days ago or 10 days ago, and that's you. I mean, that's a never say and never stop. But I'm going to ask the question, and if you don't want to answer it, that's fine. It has nothing to do with the fight.
Yeah.
It has to do with what you just said with Robbie Lawler and Rory going into the fight wing of the Hall of Fame. So I argue with some of my closest friends, Clay Guida, Frank Trigg. You're not a Hall of Famer. That's not a Hall of Famer to me. The fight is in the Hall of Fame. And when I get a lot of arguments, Amy disagrees, a lot of people disagree. Go to Cooperstown. There's bats, there's jerseys.
Yeah.
That's not. So I'm just curious, and I never want to corner somebody. If you have an opinion, I'm curious what it is.
Yeah, no, I guess I wasn't sure of that it was just a wing, but I know they put Guida and Diego Sanchez in the same type of thing for that fight, but it's not a true Hall of Famer, right?
Right.
So,
it's the fight wing.
Yeah, where I think they should put him. I don't know. I think Robbie Lawler is a Hall of Famer.
Oh, of course. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I don't think Rory is.
Yeah.
Matt Hughes is a Hall of Famer. Frank Trigg is like my brother. Trust me. Frank's not a Hall of Famer. The fight is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's the fight wing.
Yeah.
And not fans and some fighters disagree. And like I said, I'm just curious.
Yeah, no.
You seem like
I think you broke it down perfect. Like I think
with the bats?
I think the same way that you just explained. I 100% agree with that.
I chose you to ask the question because I hoped. I thought you would be the guy that wouldn't punch me for asking the question.
There's still time. There's still time, dude. There's still time. Well, listen, just going back to the expo very quickly before we let you go. All of these kids, and you talk about being a kid, loving MMA growing up, and wanting to meet your heroes, then all of a sudden your heroes are wanting to meet you, and it's that must be a very bizarre thing to deal with at the best of times. But when you see all these kids going around and they've all got their UFC t-shirts on, and I'm loving you seeing you've seen young boys and girls shadow boxing and all that kind of stuff. What would when they start their journey and they come into your gym? What are you telling them? What's the lessons that you're giving them to say this is how you do it to get to the level where I'm at? What's the lessons and what kind of advice would you give to those kids?
Yeah, for those kids, they have to find a good gym, good coaches, good people around them that know the game. Also, you have to be 100% dedicated. You have to become obsessed with the sport, and you have to be in it for the long haul. This isn't like you're not going to get to
Any level.
the top tier,
Right.
any level
Sure.
like ASAP or like a get rich, get quick type of thing. This isn't for the long haul. You're going to have highs and lows, and like you have to be prepared for it and put in the work. Like when no one's looking around, like put in the work that you just have to be 100% on. Otherwise, why are you doing this? If you want to be the best, like you have to be 100% all in all the time.
When you're in the cage, you're in a fight. What can you hear and what do you block out? You hear you would think Ric Flair's at every UFC fight, known to man. Do you hear the woos? Do you hear all that stuff? Or can you sliders say, I block it out? And how do you block out this but not that?
Yeah, no, I hear everything. So I played sports my whole life. I've wrestled since I was a little kid into, at the 4-year level. So I even hear my coaches, college wrestling coaches that come to my fight still, but I hear everything. I'm very coachable. So I hear my coaches, I listen to them. They say it's like playing a video game. I hear my opponent's coaches. So when they're saying certain combinations, I'll throw it and like kind of mess with them, just kind of throw them off. But I hear everyone, even some of when we were fighting at the Apex during COVID, I was the third one when I fought Burgos. There was no fans at the time, so it was kind of an eerie feeling. It was just, it was silence and a dark anger. My coaches were saying certain things that they never say, but they were trying to win over the judges, So just like, they were just saying, and I thought it was kind of funny,
Right.
Like in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, that's pretty funny. And even when, I took Burgos down and his coach was saying the same thing. Oh, it's okay. You won the first 2 rounds. And I'm talking to Burgos. Like, oh, your coach is tripping. And then he was laughing and we were kind of like talking back and forth while we're punching each other. But it's, I hear it all. And but some people just kind of zone out or they have this tunnel vision or red vision, whatever you want to call it. But it's, I hear it all. I'm just calm in there, and I think things are funny. It's weird, I just don't show any emotion or anything. But
It's funny that you say that. In the first ones that come to mind, Matt Serra and Greg Jackson. Greg would always yell that "nice," and that's only for the judges.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that he can sway it, and Matt Serra did nice, and but it's funny, that you say that.
And they were doing that. They were 100% doing that. They were saying so much and clapping and doing certain things that they never do in fights, but it was so quiet in there, and both corners were doing it. And I thought some of the stuff was really funny.
I enjoyed watching the fights just as a fan in the Apex because you could hear that stuff. Now, I didn't know that you were doing the reverse psychology. That makes it even better, to be honest, like that. But I enjoyed because I could hear the corners, I could hear stuff, and not the the screaming and the woos, and But Rick lives now in Tampa, so we've talked to him about it. He's like all the woos, and it's crazy. All right, awesome. We're getting looks. We've kept your stay here, so I appreciate it. When do you want to get back in?
I don't know, maybe before the end of the year. I just want to get back to my diet and then get back to training, kind of see what's next. Got to talk to my managers and matchmakers and figure out a game plan.
I try not to talk, what you do for a living. We try to talk outside. But I'm curious now that you said you're A, a foodie, and B, you like to travel. Does that go into your thought of where you want to fight? Like if they say I don't want to rip the city, since you just left Boston. No, I don't want to fight in Boston, but, I'll fight somewhere that I can enjoy after the fight.
Yeah. It used to be like I would go anywhere, but now I just want to kind of stay local. I want to fight in Vegas. It's a 50-minute flight from Sacramento, so I would say it's local. I can't same time zone. Let's do that.
There you go. Josh, thank you very much for your time. I know we're either have or we're going to get your address. We're going to send you a care package from Nate Strong.
Thanks,
as well as some swag and stuff from Buck Up Energy Drink.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. All right, we're going to hit a break. We'll be right back.